You have a romantic relationship with every leading man you've ever starred with.
I make jokes about it, but I call it the cinema gods, and they mess with us. And the first thing that happens, usually, is the love scene.
Before you get to know each other?
For many years, Hollywood has been fascinated by the personal life of Diane Lane. She has been admired not only for her beauty and talent but also for the mystery that surrounds her relationships. Fans have watched her on screen for decades, yet she has always been careful about what she shares about her private life. Because of this silence, rumors and stories about her love life have followed her for many years. Some people believed she had secret romances, while others thought the media simply exaggerated normal relationships. Now, as she reaches the age of 60, many fans feel curious about the truth behind those stories. Diane Lane has spent most of her career letting her acting speak for itself rather than responding to gossip. However, the public has never stopped asking questions about the relationships that shaped her life. Her story is not only about romance and headlines but also about growing up in a difficult environment and learning how to survive in a tough industry. From her early days in New York to becoming a respected Hollywood actress, Diane's journey has been filled with both success and heartbreak. Many people admire how she managed to stay graceful even when the spotlight was intense. As the years passed, the curiosity about her relationships only grew stronger. Some of the rumors involved famous actors and musicians, while others were simply speculation from tabloids. Even though Diane rarely addressed these stories directly, her experiences with love and relationships have clearly influenced her life and career. Today, as she reflects on her past, fans are eager to understand the truth behind the rumors and the emotional experiences that shaped one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. The life of Diane Lane did not begin with the glamour that many people imagine when they think of Hollywood stars. She was born in New York City on January 22, 1965, into a family connected to the entertainment world. Her mother, Colleen Farrington, was a nightclub singer and model, while her father, Burton Eugene Lane, worked as a drama coach and also drove a taxi to support the family. Although her parents were talented and creative people, their relationship was unstable. Their marriage ended when Diane was still very young, and the divorce created a complicated childhood for her. After the separation, Diane lived mostly with her father in New York. Life was not easy because money was often limited, and they lived in a small apartment above a theater where her father taught acting classes. Instead of having a typical childhood filled with games and playgrounds, Diane spent much of her time around actors, scripts, and stage performances. While this environment introduced her to the world of acting, it also meant that she grew up quickly and learned independence at an early age. One of the most dramatic events of her childhood happened when she was 13 years old. Her mother took her to Georgia, believing it would be better for Diane to live with her. However, the change was confusing and upsetting for the young girl. Feeling unhappy and lost, Diane eventually returned to New York on her own. This unusual experience forced her to become independent much earlier than most teenagers. These early challenges shaped her personality and taught her resilience. The instability she experienced also influenced how she later viewed relationships, trust, and love. Despite the challenges she faced while growing up, Diane Lane discovered a strong passion for acting at a very young age. Because her father worked in theater, she spent a lot of time watching rehearsals and performances. This environment helped her understand the world of acting long before most children even think about careers. When she was only 6 years old, Diane began performing in stage productions. Even as a child, people noticed that she had a natural talent and a strong presence on stage. Acting became not only a creative outlet for her but also a place where she felt confident and appreciated. As she grew older, her interest in acting continued to grow stronger. Directors and producers began to recognize her potential, and it became clear that she had the ability to build a successful career in the entertainment industry. Her big breakthrough came when she was only 13 years old and appeared in the film A Little Romance in 1979. In that movie, she acted alongside the legendary actor Laurence Olivier, which was a remarkable achievement for someone so young. Critics praised her performance and predicted that she would become a major star in Hollywood. Suddenly, Diane Lane was no longer just a young girl performing in theaters. She was a rising actress with enormous potential. This early success opened many doors for her and led to several new opportunities in films during the early 1980s. Although the attention and praise were exciting, they also brought pressure and expectations that would follow her throughout her career. As the career of Diane Lane continued to grow, she quickly became one of the most recognizable young actresses of the 1980s. After the success of A Little Romance, she began receiving offers for several major film roles. One of the most important movies in her early career was The Outsiders in 1983, directed by the famous filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola. The film featured a cast of young actors who later became major Hollywood stars, including Tom Cruise, Patrick Swayze, and Matt Dillon. Diane played the character Cherry Valance, and her performance helped establish her as a talented actress with strong screen presence. During this period, she also appeared in other films such as Rumble Fish and Streets of Fire, which further strengthened her reputation in the industry. For a while, it seemed as if her career was unstoppable. She was young, beautiful, and extremely talented, and Hollywood audiences loved watching her on screen. However, success in the entertainment industry is rarely simple. A few films that she worked on later did not perform well at the box office, and this temporarily slowed down her career. For some actors, such setbacks can end a promising career, but Diane was determined to continue moving forward. She took time to reassess her goals and eventually returned with stronger and more mature performances. This period of challenge actually helped her grow both personally and professionally. Instead of giving up, she proved that she had the resilience to adapt and reinvent herself in a competitive industry. While her professional life continued to evolve, the personal life of Diane Lane also attracted significant public attention. Hollywood has always been interested in the romantic lives of famous actors, and Diane was no exception. One of her most important relationships was with actor Christopher Lambert. The two met during the 1980s and quickly formed a connection. Their relationship eventually led to marriage in 1988, and they later welcomed a daughter named Eleanor. For a period of time, it seemed that Diane had finally found the stable family life she had long desired. However, maintaining a marriage in Hollywood can be very difficult because of busy schedules, public attention, and the pressure that comes with fame. After several years together, the couple decided to separate, and their divorce was finalized in the mid-1990s. The end of this relationship was painful for Diane, especially because she wanted to provide her daughter with the stable family environment she did not have growing up. Even though the marriage ended, she remained focused on her career and her role as a mother. Over the years, the media often linked her to several other famous figures, creating stories about possible romances. Some of these rumors were true, while others were simply speculation. Diane rarely commented on these stories, choosing instead to keep her personal life as private as possible. This decision only increased the public's curiosity, but it also helped her maintain some control over her own narrative. Years after her first marriage ended, Diane Lane found love again with actor Josh Brolin. Their relationship attracted a great deal of attention because both were well-known figures in Hollywood. They married in 2004, and many fans hoped that this relationship would bring lasting happiness to Diane. For a while, their marriage seemed strong and full of passion. However, like many relationships in the public eye, it also faced challenges. One incident that gained significant media attention occurred when Brolin was briefly arrested following a domestic dispute. Although Diane later described the situation as a misunderstanding and chose not to press charges, the event quickly became a major headline in entertainment news. The intense media coverage placed additional pressure on their marriage. Despite attempts to move forward and repair their relationship, the couple eventually decided to separate, and their divorce was finalized in 2013. This second divorce was another emotional moment in Diane's life, but by this time she had learned how to handle personal challenges with greater strength and maturity. Instead of allowing the situation to damage her public image or her confidence, she focused on continuing her work in film and maintaining a balanced life. Over time, she also became more comfortable discussing the lessons she learned from her experiences with love and relationships. Throughout her long career, Diane Lane has often been the subject of rumors about relationships with other famous figures. For example, after working closely with Richard Gere in the film Unfaithful, some tabloids suggested that their strong on-screen chemistry might have reflected a real-life romance. Diane later explained that their connection was simply the result of professional acting and mutual respect. Similar rumors appeared during her collaborations with other actors over the years. The media often assumes that strong chemistry between actors must mean something romantic is happening behind the scenes. While such stories can attract attention and sell magazines, they are not always accurate. Diane has repeatedly emphasized that acting requires emotional commitment and close cooperation between performers, which can sometimes be misunderstood by outsiders. Despite the constant speculation, she has continued to protect her privacy and avoid discussing personal matters in detail. This approach has helped her maintain dignity and professionalism in an industry that often thrives on gossip. Although the rumors occasionally created headlines, they never defined her career. Instead, audiences continued to appreciate her for the powerful performances she delivered on screen. Over time, Diane became known not only for her acting ability but also for the calm and graceful way she handled public attention today. As she reflects on her journey, Diane Lane sees love and relationships from a different perspective than she did when she was younger. Life experiences, including heartbreak and personal growth, have helped her understand that love is rarely simple. She no longer believes in the perfect fairy tale romances often portrayed in movies. Instead, she recognizes that relationships require patience, understanding, and acceptance of imperfections. At 60 years old, Diane appears comfortable with who she is and what she has accomplished. Her focus is no longer on proving anything to the world or responding to rumors about her personal life. Instead, she chooses film roles that inspire her and continues to enjoy spending time with her family, especially her daughter. Looking back, it is clear that her life has been filled with both challenges and achievements. From a difficult childhood to a successful Hollywood career, she has shown remarkable resilience. Even though the media may continue to speculate about her past relationships, Diane Lane remains focused on living life on her own terms. Her story serves as a reminder that fame and success do not protect people from emotional struggles, but they can provide opportunities for growth and self-understanding. In the end, Diane Lane's legacy is not defined by